came here, it would blow sulfur, which would get stuck down in the valley and cause severe pollution. Around the 60s and 70s, like, the town started thinking they were being kind of poisoned by it and things like that, so they agreed with the Falconbridge smelter to not let out pollution on days when the wind was blowing north towards the little town. And now there's really nothing there. We're going to go in there and talk about what happened. This is a perfect example of what the sulfur from the mine has done to the area. It's like a little miniature desert now. There's barely any water, barely any plant life, no animals, and this back here is what would happen to something if it tried to survive here. It would slowly start weakening and dying.
Would you want your kids swimming in this?
No way!
Of the Earth's 75% water content, only 2.5 of it is actually fresh. This number diminishes every year. That's it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a wrap.
Anyways, yes, the hydrosphere. It's found in all of the spheres, including itself. Within the lithosphere, it is underground in water deposits and as groundwater and in aquifers. On the surface, it is in its liquid form, found in rivers, streams, and oceans. It's in the atmosphere mostly in its gaseous form, and in the biosphere, because every single living being or plant needs water to survive. We need it to drink, plants need it to grow. I think it's probably the most important sphere, even though one can't work without the other, and we're going to move on to another sphere now.
Go.
Oh, hi. Here we have life just bursting throughout this whole field. And that's part of the biosphere. The biosphere is all living things, whether it be plants, trees, shrubs, little blades of grass. It's all part of the biosphere. And in this area, very affected by nearby mining treatment plants, we see little bursts of life. These little trees are planted by the municipalities here, and by organizations at the mine to try to actually regrow some of the forest that was damaged from before. You see behind me the mine, responsible of this godforsaken tragedy. This isn't something that can just blow off. This is something that a municipality is responsible for.
Humans have a huge effect on all the spheres, especially here in Sudbury due to the mining and everything that comes with mining. Right here is a train where they had to cut down trees, put down gravel, which they dug up from the earth, and possibly pave over, build over any water that there was, which is affecting all the spheres because the pollution giving off from the fuel is affecting the atmosphere. And this is just one of the very small things that mining affects.
The lithosphere that we live on is always in continuous motion, and it has effects on us like this, like the cracking in the road. It's continuously moving underneath us, and it affects us, but we don't really know it. It's very small scale. Larger effects include earthquakes. An earthquake is so big that if there were an earthquake 2 towns over, we'd be able to feel it. Minor scale though. The biosphere is always affecting us.
Dude,
Just wondering, do you think your store contributes to the CO2 emissions in the atmosphere right now? I said, do you think your store contributes to the CO2 emissions in the atmosphere? Do you realize that every time you make 1 cone, you are emitting 4 pounds of CO2 into the atmosphere? Okay, I'll have a small... 1 small cone, 1 chocolate dip cone, small. 1 medium strawberry milkshake. What else do you guys want? What else do you guys want? One small chocolate dip cone. Hold on. That's right, kids.
No, I'll have a raspberry shake as well. Large. Yeah. Alright, thanks.
Thanks. So, are you aware of Dairy Queen's emissions of CO2 emissions into the atmosphere? Are you aware of the CO2 emissions coming from Dairy Queen?
You're a Jeep, yeah.
Every time you make a cone, that is contributing to the CO2 emissions.
Drive your Jeep, you're making worse.
Okay. Water is the most essential thing towards life. Whether it be plants, whether it be animals. And it is a fact that only 2.5 of the Earth's fresh water is actually fresh water. I mean, you know. Some say that that water is the most essential thing to life. But only 2.5 of the Earth's water is actually fresh water. Right now I'm swimming in a lake full of sulfur, or whatever. You don't want your kids swimming in this. You just don't, alright? They'll get hives on their back, their foreheads will start bleeding. Would you want your kids swimming in this? I don't think so. Water is the most essential element to living.